in the third. And then Team Brazil, Timmy Hansen on the outside. New lineup for him alongside Marit Stromoy, who is a vastly experienced pilot in that team. So first up on the outside for Team Brazil, we will see Timmy Hansen. He's an off-road racing driver. He has had a tough day, he said yesterday, first to admit it, but he hopes to bounce back today in that Team Brazil by Claure Group. Marcelo Claure, the businessman at the helm of that project. '22-time Grand Slam winner Rafa Nadal's team Rafa, and it's his compatriot Cristina Lazaraga who lines up in the boat. She'll be in lane 3. She's a much skilled jet ski driver. Eric Stark in the boat for Team Miami from Mark Anthony. He's a powerboat racer himself, and he was one of the strongest riders in the first season of E1. And someone we're only too familiar with, the reigning champion Sam Coleman and Team Brady Shelley. He is a supremely talented powerboat racer and has a job to do from pole position. This is the course that they're going to be taking on today. For the start, they have a straight run down to turn 3, effectively, the first point for that long corner. And that's a sprint, isn't it? The starts are so crucial in this race. Then we revert to the hourglass configuration. It's a 1.4 kilometre course that we've got here. But interestingly, we have 2 new elements for this season, Shelley.
And that's what we've just seen on our map in front of us. We have the long lap and the short lap. Each team has to take 1 short lap and 1 long lap within the race. If they don't, it will be a DQ.
Absolutely, they've got to make sure they do it. What are the tactics going to be? You've got to get that clear water in front of you. We'll see how the strategy goes. The race boats are out in the water. We are getting ready to go. You see the countdown. They want to cross the line as soon as that reaches 0, and you can see a really good start from Timmy Hansen on the outside. And then we got another boat that stopped. It's Team Rafa, Chris Lazaraga. She's left stranded at the back. You can see she's not picked up, just like we got red flag. Red flag straight away has come out on that one, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but already at the start of our race day we've got some drama. There will be a restart procedure here.
That is exactly what Chris Lazaraga is actually doing right now. She's talking to her mission control. She has basically a 1-minute procedure of buttons to press to restart that race boat. Why we had a red flag, I'm not sure, because her not starting, I don't think would cause a red flag, so that'll be interesting to find out.
There's Emma Kymäläinen, just in mission control for Team Brady. Job well done by her yesterday, who she actually didn't get the greatest launch in her qualifying race, but she boosted at the right point. And yeah, here is the stricken Team Rafa boat. Maybe we should talk about it while we got the red flag, about that boost, because anyone who watched E1 last year will have seen a 20-second boost they were allowed. It's double the amount of time to recharge, but it's a different strategy, different tactics at play in 2025.
It's really going to hot the game up in 25 because they have a 20-second boost, but they can use it in short intervals. They don't have to do it all at one time. And then it takes double, so if you use it for 2 seconds, it's going to take 4 seconds to recharge. But it really has literally bunched the teams all up together and makes it very, very competitive. We saw yesterday there's hardly any seconds between them, and they're running all into the corners at the same time. It's really made a difference. I was going to just tell you about why Chris Lazaraga hasn't started this morning on that start line. It's very hot in Jeddah, we all know that, and these E1 race boats, the engines don't like to sit still. They want to keep going, so they're in muster, going round and round.
Well, that's where they're going, isn't it, now to the milling area for this particular reason. They'll have to go round anti-clockwise and wait for more instructions from our race director, Sebastian Palecchia. But still, they haven't managed to get that Rafa boat going yet.
No, which is surprising, because we've had a minute go by, so she would have started her restart procedure, but the problem that that is that it's because the engine has not liked sitting still, Gavin, in the heat. Oh, and here we go. She's done her start procedure. Let's hope. I'm still not sure why we had a red flag.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were updated. We're given the new rules again this morning. They were handed out as a bulletin to us and to all the teams and pilots this morning, and they have to go to the milling area. And they're all following those instructions, so they're all going to be milling around there. Obviously, they'll just be chugging along at a couple of knots there. They have to, pick up the pace to get onto the foil, so they start flying around the track. But then they will, in theory, line up in a single row and follow the start boat out there. Now, did they form up any positions? Would it still go back to their original positions?
This is a very good question, Gavin. I think at this stage, the race director will put them back in their original pole position. Sam Coleman on 1, Eric Stark 2, Kvitla Laraga 3, Timmy Hansen on 4, because they didn't really establish any position in the race, did they?
Let's have a see if we can get some insight into what's happened down at Team Rafa. I believe Alex is with their alternate pilot, Tom Schaap.
Yeah, Tom, thank you for joining us. Obviously not the ideal start to the race. What happened there with Chris?
I think just before the start, she have battery alarm, a bit issues. But now they make a reset and everything works. So now we will wait the start and we hope this not happen again. So
you think it's all fixed now? Good to go?
Yeah. I think now it's our second luck. So now it's okay. We will go run.
How confident are you feeling about today?
No, I think we will. Yesterday was of course a bit frustrating, but I mean all of the team make lesson about that. We learn a lot, and now we are really focusing to what we have to do. And I think we are able to make a good result, and we will try for that. Yeah.
What did you say to Chris before she went out?
I say do your best and don't put pressure to yourself, and I trust with you, and I'm with you in 100%.
And vamos, as always.
Vamos every time, yeah.
Tom, thank you. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like Rafa himself, the motto for the team is vamos always. Yesterday, Tom Schaap was giddying up, wasn't he? He was the fastest pilot of the day, but then had that misfortune to have somehow, in a miscommunication, take the short lap, which was not in operation during the qualifying races.
Yes, that was a bad call by the team mission control, but he was very gracious about it and said we work as a team, which is what always should be said. One day he's going to make a mistake, and I'm sure they won't blame him.
It looks like they're getting out of the milling area, ready to go again, and I believe they're just going to go for another start, not behind the start boat. Basically, the race hadn't formed, had it. I would just say I will be really frustrated if I was Timmy Hansen, because you'd made such a good launch from the outside, but now you've got to do it all over again as Tom Schaap watches on. 30 seconds to the flag dropping here.
Yes, it's happened to us all. We've done great starts and then we've seen red flags, and you can imagine the language that goes on. But here we go for the second start today. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, new race start then here. Nothing to worry about. They'll have enough charge to get around at full power as they all pick up the pace, and they're level pegging this time as the clock ticks down to 0. Another good start from Timmy Hansen in Team Brazil's boat on the near side. In the middle, Eric Stark also getting away well. Oh, not so great for Sam Coleman though. He caught an edge of a foil, or the hull seemed to drag on the water there, and this could be disastrous for Team Brady, who were topping qualifying yesterday. They've got to hold their line to that first corner, but it's a great start from Timmy Hansen.
Did you see Timmy Hansen had a real wobble there, but he caught it beautifully on the steering wheel. Team Brady looks like they're really having a problem back there.
Yeah, something happened with Team Brady and Sam Coleman's boat, but Timmy Hansen recovering beautifully. Had to hold his line though out wide, and that's why Eric Stark came through. Maybe if he was driving rallycross like he normally does, Timmy Hansen, he would have stuffed it back and closed the door, but you're not allowed to do that in E1 racing.
But you are now, and here on that, they finished their first lap, and you could see there how he went straight across and shut the door on Team Rafa here.
You remember we talked before, long lap and short lap have to be taken at one point during the race. The tactics on this usually, Shelley, surely would be to go the short lap straight away, trying to keep that clear water in front of you, but it depends on where you are in the race.
Well, if I was Team Miami, I'd be doing the short lap right now, because he's got a great lead and he needs to keep the lead. Is he going to do it?
Oh, look at Team Rafa though. Chris Lasaraga on the inside has to give way, unless she had that boat alongside there, Timmy Hansen, with the bow of the boat past the cockpit. then Hansen would have had to relinquish. It looks like we've gone for a short lap. Yes. Are they all going though? Interestingly, no. Just the leader. So this is where we get out of sync now. This is where this virtual map comes in handy. You can see Sam Coleman. He's taking the short lap. So he's going to try and make up some of the ground that he's lost. Now it's all about having clear water in front of you.
Sam Coleman made a great move there. He was in very dirty water. He's done the short lap. He's now got clean water in front of him.
So, as things stand, Miami and Brady have taken the short laps. That's why they are 1 and 2 in this race. And what I've always been told, if you lead, you take the short lap. If something's gone wrong, take the short or long lap, just get them out of the way. As it is, everything's going perfectly to plan for Eric Stark and Team Miami here as he streams away at the front. But remember, he'll also have to take a long lap at some point in this race.
Now, Team Miami should get as much gap as he can between the second boat so that he can take his long lap but still be in the lead.
So that's second place on the right-hand side of your screen there with Team Brady and Sam Coleman. Tom Brady's squad, who picked up the first 3 points of the championship by finishing top in the qualifying races yesterday. Team Miami, they finished in 4th place in those qualifying races, but from second on the grid here. This is going to put them in a prime position, isn't it, for the second of the group stage races. Effectively here, they are racing for position. Short lap being taken there by Timmy Hansen in the Team Brazil boat, so he's back up into second place now.
Yes, and here you can see where they combine the 2 laps together. They're merging. Tom Brady there, Sam on Team Brady coming in from his lap and merging with the other guy from the short lap.
Yeah, so suddenly he has actually made room, hasn't he? He's made position by having that cleaner water on that lap when he took the short lap, but now he's going to be in the wake of the Team Brazil boat. Team Rafa's boat still at the back, but Team Rafa have taken their long lap already, so they are not out of it yet. I will make that clear. There is so many different tactics at play in this race. You can see Team Brazil on the boat here, on the boost, should I say, as he came across the finish line there. Currently 11 seconds down on Team Miami. He has taken his short lap. When does he go for the long lap? Often you'll see pilots leave it to the last, but when you're in second, when you're chasing, other tactics might come into play, and that's where the spotters up in mission control are important.
Yes, and they're not always in mission control. Sometimes they're further down. Oh, we've got somebody going on their long lap there.
Sam Coleman getting his long lap done early for Team Brady. So he is completing that long lap now. So he'll have done his short and long lap. And from there, Sam Coleman, it will be a race to the line. Still, I'll remind you, Team Miami leading as we go on board with Sam Coleman out on that long lap. What are we reckoning the length of time it takes extra to do the long lap here?
We timed it roughly at 17 seconds, but you can see how Sam is desperately trying to get back in the game here. He's trimmed the boat out right at the top of the trim. That means the engine is like at an angle trimmed out. Rafa is behind, catching him, but in a lot of dirty water there.
Yeah, so he has done his long lap. It's not come up on the graphics yet. When he crosses the finish line, that should be completed, that he did do that long lap. So he's done both of those. Team Rafa still have the short lap, I'll remind you. So even though Rafa is at the back, there's still lots to play for here. Meanwhile, no doubt about our leader at the moment. It's Team Miami, who still has a long lap to perform. And if there's a reason he's called the Iceman, it's that inside cockpit shot where it looks like he's just out for a Sunday drive, doesn't it?
And his lovely blue eyes. He really is the Iceman, but he will hold on till the last minute. His team will be pushing him to get the biggest gap. He won't take the long lap till the last time, I'm sure.
Yeah. When you're leading like this and you have this, Rafa now on the short lap, and they are going to, in doing so, leapfrog Team Brady, and they are going to leapfrog Team Brazil, are they here? This is going to be interesting merge here now as they come together towards the buoy at turn 6 on the right hand side. Sorry, turn 5 it is, that boy there, the little kink, and suddenly Chris Lasaraga, who has done her long lap and now just done her short lap, they've completed it, and suddenly up into second place. How the race changes in a blink of an eye.
The long lap and the short lap, that's exactly what it's supposed to do, is really mix the field up and changing positions all the time. This is what makes it so exciting in the E1 series.
Long lap being performed now by our race leader, Eric Stark, on the last lap of the race, as predicted by Sherry Joy Lee alongside me. There's a reason you're the expert alongside me in this commentary booth today. So Team Miami, Mark Anthony's squad, powered by Magnus, are rounding the far side of the circuit. There you can see the course at the back. He's just about to come through a little kink in the merge out of the long lap. He's done everything he needs to in this race. He is going to, I tell you what, recover everything from 4th in qualifying yesterday, started 2nd in this one, and Anna Glennon, Jet Girl herself, will be going out in the 2nd of the group stage races from top spot, from the inside lane, from pole position. Team Miami are about to round the final corner with Eric Stark in the hot seat. Beautiful how he made that final corner there, and he is going to take victory in this first group stage race of the day here in Jeddah. 2nd place, it looks like Chris Lasaraga. I have to say, after the disaster yesterday, after being put to the back of the top qualifying race, that is some recovery from the Spaniard. 3rd place goes to Team Brazil and Timmy Hansen, and for Sam Coleman, that has given Emma Kimilainen a lot on her plate for the 2nd group stage race later on.
Poor Sam, 0 to 0, literally pole position to last place. He is not happy, and you can see that.
We'll have to see what happened. It was hard to see. It looked like he just dropped off the foil or something. It just was not right, was it? The others powered down. Don't know whether it was something to do with the restart or anything like that, but we'll have a closer look when we can get the images. But Team Brady, unfortunately, not able to back up what they did yesterday. I think we may well be able to go down into the Team Miami cockpit. Hopefully we are able to have a quick word with Eric Stark. Wow, what a performance that was, judging it to perfection. And again, as we've always seen, it was that into that first corner to get your nose in front.
Nose in front. Eric, as soon as you get to milling, we can return to launch zone.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race. Really good strategy from the team, and you know, it was it was a nice race. Nice to start the season like this. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Congratulations, Eric. Congratulations to Team Miami. There is Anna Glennon. She is all smiles. She knows that she is being given a huge opportunity in the 2nd group stage races later on, when she will go from the inside lane. So brilliant from Eric Stark there, judged to perfection. And I like how he mentioned the team straight away and the advice that they've given him, the words that he was getting from Mission Control. It's a nice touch.
That's a pro for you. That's a pro. I think with talking about Team Brady, Gavin, I'm wondering if, because they had a red flag, they had to do a restart back into muster, I'm wondering if that engine overheated slightly and didn't like not, you know, having water going through it and milling around, and basically went into Guardian mode.
Yeah, it could be something like that. They all heading back to the launch zone now, back into the team's arms as we all get ready for the next of our group stage races. Delight for Eric Stark then as he opens the roof of the cockpit. Big shake of hands. Anna Glennon who's actually helping out in there, but you know, these race boats, E1 race boats, they look like fighter jets, don't they, out on the water, and he does look like maybe a stunt double for someone in Top Gun in a former life, perhaps.
Yes, I absolutely think it is, definitely. Look at the start again here now. Great start. Now, what happened there?
It just dropped down onto the left-hand foil, didn't it?
It wasn't the engine. It's something to do with the foil. We're on board with Team Brady now. Let's see.
Yeah, it just takes a turn there. I'm not quite sure what's happened.
He's going in a straight line, and it's like the foil had a sort of malfunction.
Maybe it's the rear lifter or something, some kind of issue, but yeah, it just dropped down, didn't it, onto the left-hand side, so that really affected him. Timmy Hansen made 2 good launches, you have to say, but I am so impressed with Cristina Lazaraga in that race. She just went about her own business at the back. Suddenly then, when she's done the short lap, she emerges in second place behind Eric Stark and Team Miami, who are out front and celebrating the victory in that qualifying race. Chris Lazaraga there coming home in second was brilliant.
I must say, a strategy, when you're in the lead, a strategy is quite easy. Well, I'd say it's easier because you take the long lap at the very last minute, you take the short lap first. Chris Lazaraga, now she has done a great strategy because she was in dirty water behind.
The winners of our first group race then, Eric Stark and Mark Anthony's Team Miami. So looking down at the launch zone here in Jeddah for the opening round of E1, and our champions team Brady took 3 points yesterday, but Alex, I wonder if you can find out from Sam Coleman what happened at the start of that race just now.
Sam, obviously hugely disappointing after the highs of yesterday. What happened there? Was something wrong with the foil?
Same issue we've had all week. I think we've raised it a few times now, but it seems to be falling on deaf ears. We know we've got a problem. We've been trying to drive around it. You can drive around it for a lap. I think the first start, we managed to get the boat up and foiling, and once you're going, it's a little bit better. The restart, maybe there was some debris, but the restart cost us a little bit. But it's racing. I got confidence in Emma to bounce back, and hopefully she'll get us a good result.
Is it something you think could be fixed today?
No. We got a route round in the parts bin to find some other foils, I think.
What will you say to Emma? What's your advice to her?
She's got great feel and such a good feel for the boat. She knows how to drive around it. She'll give her best shot.
Sam, thank you.
Thank you very much.
A frustrated sounding Sam Coleman, obviously something they've had. We've heard about it during testing this week, and we'll see how that fares for Emma Kimiläinen when she goes from the outside in the second group stage race. It was Team Miami on top with Eric Stark. Cristina Lazaraga brilliant in second, with Timmy Hansen bringing it home in third for Team Brazil, and Brady rounding us out in fourth. We now get ready for our second set of group races here. It's stage 2A, so the A pilots will be going out in this one. We will have a 5-boat race lining up. Alternate ones, the opposite pilot from who went out in the qualifying races yesterday. And they're just about to leave the launch zone now. There is Tom Schaap. He knows that his co-pilot, Cristina Lazaraga, pulled a rabbit out of the hat. And someone like Oban Duncan heading out there now, Shelley, that's what she's got to have in her mind, that she can recover from the problems they had yesterday.
She certainly does. We actually know that Oban was working on the boat herself last night. They had some technical issues all day plaguing them, and there she was, polishing props and helping all of the team. It was hands-on last night.
Local pilot Michelle Olivadan for Aoki Racing. Danny Kloss set the second fastest time in the day yesterday, her co-pilot, and so Michelle has work to do here, but she's been put in a great position. They were third quickest yesterday, puts them second lane for this race, and Steve Aoki's here, and what we saw last year is having team owners on site usually help the pilots perform. I wonder if the two are connected.
I think it's a little bit of team pressure from the boss. You want to show him what you can do.
Yeah, familiar with each other. Of course, they raced together last year, but welcoming Danny Kloss into the fold for the 2025 season. Now, this is a new boat that we've seen this year. Team Alula, the Desert Oasis City that is championed by LeBron James, only announced this week, and Rusty Wyatt was fastest in the time trials. They finished second in the qualifying races, hence the inside lane for this group stage race, Shelley, and Katie Munnings in the hot seat.
They did an absolute stonker of a group stages yesterday, qualifying races. They were so fast.
And here is Team Blue Rising, new pilot in the cockpit. Sarah Mizier from Jamaica is lining up in there alongside John Peters in their new look lineup for Virat Kohli this year. So this is our starting grid then. Our 5 boats that are out, still 6 laps, still have to take a short and a long lap, and it's Katie Munnings who'll be on the inside for Team Alula. Michelle Alobaidan for Aoki Racing is in lane 2. And we'll have Lucas Ordonez for Westbrook Racing, that's Will Smith's squad, in 3rd place. And then Team Blue Rising and Team Dropper in 4 and 5. On the outside then, the youngest pilot in the championship, Oban Duncan from Scotland. Fantastic powerboat race. She is supremely talented, but they had their bad luck yesterday. That's why she's on the outside. We'll have Lucas Ordonez actually in the boat for this one. That is his teammate Sarah Price, who went out yesterday and did absolutely superbly to put Will Smith's Westbrook Racing back in the picture, because after the time trials they were down in 8th place and managed to bring it through. So they'll be starting from the 3rd position on the water in the middle. They're all milling. They have to mill anti-clockwise before the start of this one. Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising and Sarah Mizier, the Jamaican GT racer. I love the fact she has a check engine-like tattoo. It's a great little bit of information that we've got. But she's been great, hasn't she, so far? Look, it's her first weekend of action, and it's all a big learning curve for Sarah.
It's a huge learning curve for her. She has no water experience, but sometimes that's the best.
And Aoki Racing in that 2nd lane, local pilot Michelle Alobaidan, a rally driver, taking part in the Dakar and being successful there, and she stays with Aoki Racing this year. Has a job to do, but I tell you what, her teammate Danny Kloss has put her in a great position in 2nd. And on the inside lane, in pole effectively for this one, is Katie Munnings, former ladies rallycross champion. We've seen her in Extreme E, we've seen her in rallycross. She is vastly experienced off-road, and of course she has the experience of last year in E1, but makes the switch to this exciting new Team Alula, championed by NBA legend LeBron James, who has only one mentality, and that's a winning mentality. Can she back it up in this race? This is the course they've got laid out. Remember, as they run down to turn 1, they miss out, run down to turn 3, they miss out turn 1. It's a sprint towards that first corner, and they start to line up now. Alula on the right, then it's Aoki Racing and Michelle Alobaidan in 2nd. Lucas Ordonez in the middle, and then Sarah Mizier starting to just pick up the pace ever so slightly in 4th. And on the near side, Oban Duncan, they had a stranded boat yesterday. Now this is interesting, we are counting down, it has been delayed. I just saw the jet ski come across. We have got a delay to the start. I suddenly thought, hang about, what's going on here? There's a jet ski, but it is a race direction boat that's sending them back to the milling area. So this is just ramping up the pressure a little bit on these pilots now. Sherry, you've got a rueful look on your face.
The feeling that those guys are feeling right now in that cockpit is, you've got to be joking me, because the adrenaline is absolutely pumping as they're creeping towards that start line. It's so important, the start in the E1 series, and now it's just been boom, deflated.
And as we've talked about already, we've seen a couple of stranded boats, and sometimes in this heat, so we're talking north of 28, 29 degrees, but even more so inside the cockpit, more so for the engines as they're milling in particular. They like to be moving, don't they? And so it's just another thing that plays in the back of the minds of the pilots.
Yeah, so now their mission control will be talking to them. They'll be calming them down and saying, okay, reset brain, let's go, but keep the boat moving, because if it doesn't keep moving, the engine will go into Guardian mode and you may stop on the start.
So as we take a close look at the Aoki Racing team boat, I tell you what, it looks superb, doesn't it, with that pink and blue design for this season, and the local pilot Michelle Alobaidan in there. We can head now down to the launch zone. I believe we've got a co-team principal for Team Alula down with Alex.
Yes, John, thank you so much for joining us. The new kids on the block, but what a start it was yesterday. How pleased are you with the way it went?
Yeah, it's been months and months of hard work getting ready for this. So yesterday's performance from Katie and Rusty was a testament to the prep that the guys have been putting in. We couldn't be happier, over the moon.
So Katie's just gone out. Talk me through your strategy today.
Well, we know we've got two really strong pilots, so we weren't too fussed about the order they went in, but we know Katie was going to get her elbows out today, and we wanted to give her this first race. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how it goes.
How incredible is it working with the icon, the legend, LeBron James?
Yeah, we're still pinching ourselves a bit. He's involved in the team, but yeah, an incredible athlete, and we couldn't be prouder to have him on the side of the boat, and looking forward to working with him this season.
Confident you could win today?
I'm not going to jinx it just yet, but yeah, we've done all of our prep, and we'll see how we get on.
John, thank you. Good luck. All the best.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how much of that Katie Munnings can hear down there, but John Marlowe there just a little bit of a G up. We know that LeBron James will be watching on as we start the countdown again. Second time lucky, let's hope. 13 seconds, 12, 11, now 10 seconds to the start. They start to turn up the wick here. They start to get themselves up on the foils as we get ready to go racing here in our group stage 2A. On the inside, I remind you, is Katie Munnings and Team Alula as they power away across the line. A brilliant start from Sarah Mizir on that Team Blue Rising boat. Look at the Aoki Racing boat from Michelle Lobadan. They have to hold their line now out towards turn 3, but it looks to me as we just see the Westbrook boat drop down ever so slightly. They have to hold their line through into the corner. Oh, that's got close. Oh, we've had contact there from Lucas Ordonez. I think we're on board with Team Alula there. We were with Katie Munnings, and there was contact, and I'm sure race director will have a close look at that one. Really good start though at the front from Michelle Lobaidan. She is leading in the Oki Racing boat with Blue Rising in second place, and then in third it's Katie Munnings for Team Alula, and Oban Duncan has got through on Team Drogba ahead of Westbrook.
What a close start that was, and we just certainly did have contact. And even Oban in Team Drogba, she got into really rough water but held it beautifully and got through.
We're on board with Team Aluna, LeBron James's squad here in third place in this race. So having started at the lead, Katie Munnings is there in third, but she's showing good pace right on the rear now of Sarah Mizir, who's made a brilliant start for Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising. Then you can see Oban Duncan, great corner out of the final corner for the Scot, and it's Lucas Ordonez at the back for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. This is not part of the plan here at the back of the field. A reminder, one short lap, one long lap have to be taken during the race, and as we would expect, the leader, Aoki Racing, and Michelle Lobaidan does take the short lap straight away and gives herself the best opportunity with Clearwater in front. We see a normal lap being taken by Blue Rising, short lap by those in fourth and fifth, and then Alula going for the long lap. So Katie Munnings has been sent on that long lap early in the race. It paid off for Team Rafa in the first of the group races. Will it pay off for Katie and Team Alula?
To be honest with you, Team Alula were in such dirty water and in such a mess. It was the perfect call. Get her out, get it done.
Oh, now that has promoted Team Westbrook Racing there up into, well, you can just see actually, they're just ahead of the Blue Rising boat. So they're in third, Blue Rising back to fourth now. And so we'll keep an eye on who's done those short laps. Westbrook, Drogba and Aoki. So Oban Duncan is up into second place now. Still Aoki's Michelle Lobaidan is leading the way. Team Drogba on the boost, and Oban Duncan in second place. A long lap penalty for Team Westbrook. We thought it might be coming. It was a turn in, wasn't it, from Lucas Ordonez, and he will have not just one but 2 long laps to perform. You can see if you look at the top of the screen, they're in fourth place, has to do an extra long lap, and he is not happy. You can see him chuntering away to his crew.
It's such a short course, Gavin, that extra long lap just ruins everything.
Oh, and a long lap penalty also for Sarah Mizir as well. This is all to do, Shelley, with what we saw about people having to hold their lane right to turn 3. Both of them, in my opinion, from what we saw from the start, did turn that little bit early and take water from other people.
Yeah, I thought they'd gone past Mark 3 when they actually had that collision. But again, it's a non-contact sport. Penalties for both.
Aoki Racing then, no such concerns. It was a wonderful start from Michelle Lobaidan, and she is doing it for the local fans here for Aoki Racing. So there are Team Westbrook. That's one of the long laps taken. What that has done with the Lucas Ordóñez taking the long lap, it means now that Katie Munnings, who we go on board with the Team Alula, is in dirty water again. They were trying to get themselves out of it. So maybe there is a tactic here now, perhaps, to have a look at that short lap and try and get herself in front of Will Smith's Westbrook Racing.
Well, Team Alula are a really good shout now, and Team Drogba, because Blue Rising and Westbrook have both got extra long laps, they haven't actually got a lot to worry about. They've just got to worry about Aoki, and Alula's got to worry about Team Drogba.
And there is John Marlowe down there just having a little wry smile about how this race has panned out. We talk about strategy, we talk about tactics, and what becomes clear is as soon as you get on the water, they're out of the window, aren't they?
Exactly. You can do all the paperwork and planning before the race, but then actually when you come into it and the race itself, it's all up in the air, start again.
So this is our leader, Michel Olobaidan, Steve Aoki's boats. He is in the crowd watching on, and he'll be delighted to see that beautiful pink and blue livery out in front. And you just see the negative trim, actually, we're seeing on Michelle's boat.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, she's in the lead. She's got a great lead. She doesn't have to take any risks. She's on negative trim. You know, she's a new driver. Maybe she's just being a little bit cautious at the moment.
We're now on board with Michelle. There you can see the negative trim on our shots as she rounds that buoy there at turn 3. Still piling the pressure, though, I will say, is Oban Duncan in second place. They both still have to do their long laps. We did see a promotion there for Team Alula up into third as Team Blue Rising took one of their long laps, and Westbrook Racing and Lucas Ordóñez also took his second long lap. So Westbrook are done for their long and short laps now, including the penalty lap. Blue Rising do have one more penalty lap still to take, as Team Drogba and Oban Duncan finish their penalty lap. This is going to be interesting when she merges, because the short lap is being taken by Katie Munnings. Look at this from Oban Duncan and Katie Munnings. They're going to be both going towards that turn 5 buoy, and it looks like the Scot might just get in ahead of the Englander.
Yes, she has brilliant. Just made it in front of her. Gosh, that was close. That was really close.
Does superbly now, and that means more dirty water for Katie Munnings. But, dropping down off the foils there for Oban Duncan.
Dropping down on the foils, and we nearly had Team Alula in the back of Team Drogba. But she's managed to get it back up.
Oh, Katie Munnings flying over the wake there, and she was just trying to get herself out of that horrible, messy water, and it went a little bit sideways, but she is so skillful, so skillful that she hangs on to it. Now we're seeing our leaders, Aoki Racing, taking the long lap. Will they come back, and will they rejoin in the lead? It looks like they have more than enough margin, and Michel Olobaidan on this final lap should have enough to stay in front of Alula, of Drogba in particular. They've got to round that red buoy, and yes, Steve Aoki's squad. I'll tell you what, this is some turnaround for Michel Olobaidan, isn't it? Danny Kloss setting the second fastest lap yesterday. They have started this race, they were second lane, and she's just piloted this one to perfection.
I just love that we've got such a mix-up, and I think it's this boost, Gavin, that's brought it in. The short lap has also really mixed the class up.
But as we have seen so much last year in E1, the start is all crucial. Having to hold your line down towards that turn 3 buoy as we come out of the final corner now. Michel Olobaidan for Steve Aoki's racing team takes the victory in the group stage 2A, and that will put them in the inside lane for the second group stage race. Team Drogba and Oban Duncan, what do we say about recovering from the outside lane? Will take second place in that second race. Team Alula will be in third for it. Westbrook Racing, and it's Lucas Ordóñez in there with a penalty, comes across in fourth. And Sarah Mizir, well, unfortunate to have that penalty, adds an extra 16-17 seconds to your lap time. And in the end, a decent performance, but just more misfortune befalling her and Virat Kohli's boat today. But no doubt about our winner, Aoki Racing, new paint scheme, a new pilot alongside Michelle this year in Danny Kloss. And I tell you what, it seems to be a well-judged choice.
It just goes to show how important the whole team is involved in this race, in each single race, with the short lap, the long lap, penalties, all that going on. You couldn't do it without your mission control speaking in your ear.
Well, that's given Danny, one of the fastest pilots here this weekend, a great opportunity. What do we love to see, that emotion there coming out. What an athlete and what a performance, and she has given her teammate Danny Kloss a huge opportunity. Former F1 test driver, and he'll be in the boat for the second group stage race later on. This is how that second group stage race finished. Aoki Racing on top with Michelle Lobaidan. Drogba in second. Brilliant recovery from Oban Duncan. Katie Munnings took third. She just got so much dirty water in that race. And penalties for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing and Virat Kohli's Blue Rising, which means they finish in 4th and 5th place in our group stage 2A race. Beautiful scenes over the launch zone here in Jeddah as Michelle Lobaidan and Aoki Racing make their way back into the launch zone. And again, it was just all sensible, wasn't it, from her? I think we might be able to get down and have a see if we can perhaps have a word with Lucas Ordóñez down there in Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. Obviously, you were handed out that penalty. What's your take on it, Lucas, from down there in the cockpit?
Also, the hatch is open.
We got all together, all very close into the first corner, and then I got blind. I think I hit Alula, but it was not on purpose, obviously. I got blind. I got my screen full of water. I was completely blind. I had no idea where to go, and yeah, from then I lost the position on track, and my race was over. Then I got a penalty because of that, probably.
I think we may well have just lost Lucas there, but he got his version of it, and I think he was quite magnanimous actually in that one. I think we might be able to go to someone on the opposite end of the emotion spectrum, because Aoki Racing's team owner is here this weekend, and I believe Alex might be down there with him somewhere in the launch zone if we're lucky. Just seeing Team Blue Rising making their way back into the launch zone. Let's hear now from a very happy team owner. I expect, Alex, you've got Aoki Racing's boss down there.
Yeah, we certainly do. A very happy team owner here. Steve Aoki, what a start to the day.
I'm like blown away. My heart rate is going crazy. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time watching. Michelle held it down from the very beginning, and she just took off, and you couldn't catch her. You just couldn't catch her.
Steve, a new co-pilot as well in Danny Kloss. Do you have a good feeling about this season?
I love Danny. Danny is such a great addition to the team, and it makes me think what's going to happen for season 2 is remarkably going to be different from season 1.
And how happy are you to be back in Jeddah, where it all begun?
Exactly. I was here last year, and I'll tell you, last year, I think we placed last or close to last. So it just goes to show the underdog has a chance when you have determination, passion, and love for the sport. We came together and we retooled everything we possibly could, even including how beautiful, look at the skin of our race boat, just the dragon, everything we put our heart and determination in, and just to see this all happening right here, right now, winning this one, it's just a dream come true.
What does the dragon represent?
Just the fierce determination of what we're doing, you know, our commitment, our aim to really go for gold. We want to get first place.
Steve, it is brilliant to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, from the decks to the docks, Steve Aoki, now not just a maestro in music, but in E1 World Championship too, because his Aoki Racing team is going to be in top spot for the group stages. This was the replay, Shelley, down into turn 3. The sprint down there, you can see Katie Munnings on the Alula boat just getting dropped back, but this is where the contact's about to happen.
Yeah, let's hope we've actually got an angle so we can see the contact.
There we have it. It was foil to engine, wasn't it?
Yeah, the engine just clipped the bow of that boat. Oh, yeah.
I think what happens there, you see Sarah Mizir as well on the outside. She also got the penalty, and it was almost a concertina effect, but Westbrook impeding Alula's line, Blue Racing impeding as well. And what have they been told? You've got to keep straight right down past that first smart mark.
Keep your line and keep space. The officer of the day, the race director, Sebastiano, will be jumping up and down on that one, and probably will actually have a few words with those drivers after, those pilots after this race.
No doubt about the joys, though, of victory for Michelle Lobaidan and Aoki Racing. We heard what it meant to Steve Aoki. They were 8th in the championship last year, but a good start to their race day. Look, it's just the start, though. Still lots of work to be done by their co-pilots. Those 2 group races that we have seen have decided our grid positions for the second set of group stage races, and that's where it really gets busy, because we start to have our first eliminations with the last boats will go through into the place race directly. We'll have 2 opportunities for the winners to go straight into the final. We've got our race off in the mix too. Still another 6 races to come for us here on race day in Jeddah. Oh, looks beautiful down there, doesn't it? On the Corniche shop hook. We're here for our group race stage then here in Jeddah. It's the opening round of the UAM E1 World Championship presented by PIF. We have had our first set of group races. These are now the races that count. Another 6 laps ahead of us. And what a lineup we have got for this Group Stage 1 race. 4 boats out there and some big hitters too. You can see the Team Rafa in orange, Team Brazil on the left-hand side of your picture by the Claure group, Marcelo Claure's team. So we're still seeing our winner from the second of those group stage races before, an Aoki Racing. She'll be coming down maybe to have a few words for her co-pilot when they get going in the second set. But we have a 4-boat race coming up for us. Let's hear from Eric Stark down there at Team Miami with Alex.
Yeah, I'm with the Iceman. Eric, you set the bar very high. How confident are you that Anna can do the same?
No, Anna is an amazing pilot, so yeah, it's going to be tough for her. She has Tom on the side, and Tom have been quicker than all of us this weekend, so it's going to be a tough race, but it's 6 laps, everything can happen. We have a very good strategy, and you know, she look tough and hard, so I think it's going to be an interesting race.
What does she need to do if she wants to beat Tom Schaap? Fastest lap yesterday, we all saw that.
No, she needs to, for sure, do a lot of good times and make the start and be first after the first buoy. Then, you know, we have this new short and long lap that we need to play good, but yeah, she has a good chance.
How much more competitive do you think this season is going to be?
No, 100% more. Like maybe last year, us coming from powerboat racing had a little bit advantage, but like in the middle of or beginning of last season, they were even faster than us. So it's, you know, I think everyone can win this year. So it's really, really tough.
Thanks, Eric. I'll let you focus on cheering on Anna.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, we've talked, haven't we, over the years about the likes of Anna Glennon coming from jet ski and whoever coming from rally. They're all now E1 pilots, and that's the thing. They've all pretty much got a handle on it. So our results from Group Stage A define our lanes for Group Stage B. But now these are the important races. 2 races to come. The winners go straight through to the final. The boats in last place across the line in these races go straight through to the place race and cannot make the final anymore. All the others go to the race-off. Team Miami will be on the inside for this first of these group stage races. The B pilots are inside. We saw Anna Glennon for Team Miami. We've got Tom Schaap in there, who has been the fastest pilot of the weekend so far. He's got the fastest lap. There is a point handed out for the fastest lap of the day today, so that's another thing just to keep our eyes on. Marit Stromoy is in the hot seat for Team Brazil, and Emma Kymäläinen for Team Brady. But here we are inside the Team Rafa cockpit, and we saw, Shelley, yesterday just how skillful Tom is in one of these E1 race boats.
He has certainly just appeared in the world of powerboat racing, and as you said he's making his splash. I'm saying he's making waves everywhere he goes, and the E1 race boat was no exception.
Yeah, Chris Lasaraga down there watching on. She was superb, wasn't she, in that first set of group stage races, and that gives Tom Schaap a really good opportunity. He goes second though, behind Anna Glennon and Mark Anthony's Team Miami. And then Team Brazil are in third lane with Marit Stromoy, and in fourth Emma Kymäläinen for Team Brady. Has some recovery to do from there. So on the outside in this group stage race, Emma Kymäläinen has a job to do. Her teammate Sam Coleman had a little bit of an issue in the 1A race. So she's on the outside, lane 3 for Marit Stromoy. Vastly experienced powerboat racer, also professional singer. Missed a day of testing because she had a few concerts to perform back in Norway this week, but make no bones about it, she has huge amounts of experience. Hopefully she can bring that to play in this group stage race. For Team Rafa, the fastest pilot of the weekend so far, Frenchman Tom Schaap, karting world champion in the junior classes. His father is a multi-world champion. He himself has great experience in the powerboats, but on the E1 boat, there's no one quicker. And on lane 1, on the inside, Jet Girl herself, Anna Glennon. I love the line, she owns more propellers than dresses. Yes, she is all about speed on the water. She needs to show it down towards turn 1. She's given a huge chance by her co-pilot Eric Stark. And this, I'll remind you, is our course. First lap, Shelley, they avoid the first buoy. It's a big sprint and they have to hold their lanes, and we've just seen all the way down to that third smart mark.
Yes, as you can see, if it goes, they're done for. Red flag back again. And then this is the course they run all the time, but then we also have a long lap coming in, which they have to take one of, and a short lap, which they have to take one of.
Just as we saw in those previous races, strategy and tactics come in. Do you take the short lap early? Do you leave it till later on? Do you use it to leapfrog someone? We are starting to count down to the start of this crucial group stage race. A quick reminder about the format now. The winner of this race will go straight through to the final. The boat that comes home last will only go into the place race and no chance of making the final. The countdown goes, 3 seconds remaining till they cross the start line. Here we go then, look on the inside, it's already getting tight between Team Miami and Team Rafa. Tom Schaap being given the runaround here by Marit Stromoy on his outside too, and Rafa not getting the start that they had yesterday. It's Team Miami, Mark Anthony's squad, and Anna Glennon making a superb launch. Also Marit Stromoy on the outside. Rafa will have the inside line now, and Team Brazil just hanging on outside there. Emma Kymäläinen just taking the safe line through it. She lines up at the back, but a brilliant start from Jet Girl herself, Anna Glennon, who leads the way.
I have to say, Gavin, that was a beautiful start there, very clean. But look at, they're porpoising at the back there because they're in that messy water. That was Team Brazil and Team Brady.
We are on board with Tom Schaap in the Team Rafa boat. He can see the back of Anna Glennon's Team Miami machine in front of him, but look at the water that he's having to contend with. He can be the fastest pilot around the racetrack, but that's on clean water. Now it's a different kettle of fish as he battles with the wake. Oh, you just saw Marit Stromoy in Team Brady's boat. She was sideways in the middle of the corner there, and that really upset Emma Kymäläinen behind her.
This is all about strategy now. I would send Team Brady and Team Brazil off on a long lap. Get it done, and get in some clean water, because it's a mess.
It really is. They've got to take this inside turn, so we've got one lap down. At the end of it, it was Miami from Rafa. They're both on the boost. Remember, a variable boost, and as we've seen from the leaders all the way through in the practice races this week, you go straight for the short lap, and Anna Glennon has done that straight away. Meanwhile, I was just trying to see, Team Rafa, Tom Schaap has gone for the long lap already. So the Frenchman, he wants that clean water as much as possible, and so he's gone for it. Team Brady, Emma Kimmelainen, she's gone for the short lap, and it's, higgledy-piggledy. It's a hard one to get your head around at the moment, but this is going to change, I guarantee it. Team Rafa at the back at the moment, but now, with that clear water, can he find the pace that he had yesterday, Tom Schaap?
Let's hope so. I think Team Brady took a last-minute call there. I think she was going to do a long lap, saw them go, but took the short lap because that's where the clean water was.
Not a bad idea, actually, in the scheme of things, is it? So Brady and Emma Kimmelainen up into second place. That beautiful black and gold championship-winning boat from last year. And some good tactics, some good teamwork there from back up at Mission Control. This is Marit Stromoy in Team Brazil by the Claure Group. They're in third place, and at the back of the field, it's Team Rafa. So who's done what? Brady and Miami have done their short laps. Rafa have done a long lap. Brazil have done neither at the moment. As you see Emma Kimmelainen just heading down. She's going for that long lap now. So she's doing the long lap, Emma Kimmelainen. She's getting it all out of the way.
All I can say is that Mission Control are working very well and fast on this, because they've actually put everyone into clean water.
Yeah, Tom Schaap has just gone for the short lap as well, and he's going to leapfrog both Brady and Brazil. And what do we say about the positions changing in this race? He's instantly back up into second now. So Team Brazil remaining in third, but it's a switch of who was in front of them and who was behind them. So at the front, Anna Glennon, Team Miami, out leading for Mark Anthony. Then it's Rafael Nadal's team in second place. On the boost, Tom Schaap through the middle of the corner there. That's interesting, just getting it up on the foils when you've dug it down, got the grip, and then putting in a little bit of a boost onto the straight now. So Tom Schaap motoring, and that last lap, a 59, having taken the short lap. We talk about the short lap being 4 or 5 seconds. That's a stunning lap that he's put in. He's eating the ground up on Anna Glennon and Team Miami, who I will remind you still has to do a long lap. The gap between them, Shelley, stands at 18 seconds. That is about the length of a long lap. We are going to get some excitement once Anna Glennon decides to do that long lap loop. So, Team Brazil now going for their long lap. I'll remind you of the positions. Team Miami leading by a comfortable margin at the moment from Team Rafa, but Miami still have to take, Anna Glennon still have to take her long lap.
See, it's all changed now. Team Brady have moved into third place. This is a great race, and it just proves what the short and long laps can do. You cannot predict anything.
Yeah, it also shows what the variable boost does as well, how you don't anymore have to basically just use it on the straights. You've got to tactically use it in parts of the course.
Yeah, see, I would always use it on the corner. I would want it to give me acceleration out of the corner, back onto the foils, so that I'm flying as soon as possible.
And they do fly indeed. The gap across the line between Miami and Rafa, 18 now dropping to 17 seconds. It's about the length of a long lap. And this is some recovery drive here from Tom Schaap in the Team Rafa boat. Yes, there's gaps between them on the virtual map at the moment, but just you wait until Miami have to take their long lap. We will be keeping a close eye on it. Emma Kimmelainen for Team Brady in third. And as it stands, Team Brazil would be eliminated. They'd be going straight through into the place race. No chance of making it to the final. They still, however, Team Brazil, have a short lap to take.
On board with Team Miami now. She's got the trim nicely set. She's not too high, she's not too low, she's very steady, which is great.
She has to take her long lap on this final lap now. We're going to get all the excitement. We're going to get the action here. She looks like a cool customer down there, but her heart will be going 10 to the dozen, no doubt, as she heads towards the long lap. Team Rafa are just about crossing the line now, and the gap, Shelley, Team Rafa and Tom Schaap, the gap's down to under 14 seconds. So as Anna Glennon heads for this long lap, has she got enough? Is she going to be able to hang on on?
I don't think she can, because we measured it at about 17 seconds, even on the fastest boats. Can she drop that down?
We're going to have to see now, as she got a little bit of boost. She's used all the boost actually around the long lap, so she can't use it to drive out of the long lap. And if you look to the inside, you'll be able to see the Team Rafa boat, and there it is. It's going to come through, and this is some performance from Tom Schaap. He has been the fastest pilot, but this is where the strategy, where Mission Control have come into their own, and they've recovered the race from a bad start.
I just love this long lap and short lap. It just so mixes the pack up, and you just can't predict anything till the end.
When you go wrong at the start, do something different. He went for the long lap early, didn't he? Then he took the short lap straight away. He's found clean water all the way through, and Tom Schaap and Rafa Nadal's team take victory, and they go straight through into the final. You feel like some kind of justice done in the end after the problem they had yesterday, after that DQ. So Tom Schaap wins. Philippe, his father down there watching on, you can see how hot it is by the sweat pouring off his face. Anna Glennon takes second place. She'll be heading through into the race off, and it will be alongside Emma Kivilainen and Team Brady, straight through to the place race for Team Brazil, who come across the line in fourth spot. No chance now for Marit Stromoy or Timmy Hansen to make the final. They'll be just getting the place race later in the day. But I'll tell you what, it was a decent performance all round, especially first time out for Marit Stromoy.
I have to say that start was absolutely beautiful. It was textbook, much better than the start before. You need to learn something there, guys.
So no doubts about our winner in the end. Team Rafa coming through to take victory. What a performance there, Tom. Huge congratulations. The start looked tough, but I'll tell you what, you got some great info from Mission Control about when to take the long and the short lap, and that just put you in the clean water.
Yeah, I'm so happy about this first race. My team making incredible job like yesterday. We do it differently, but today we learn a lot, and I want to thank you to my radio man and my team principal, all of the members of Team Rafa, because he make a incredible job. And yeah, let's go, vamos!
Congratulations, Tom. Well done, and well done to the team, I have to say, Shelley, because we talked about the miscommunication yesterday that they had. They took the short lap by accident. What happened there? Was it a misunderstanding? Was it a miscommunication? But they recovered it.
They certainly did, and so heroic. Well done, guys.
Team Rafa then making their way back towards the launch zone. Superb. I can't get over how many times the positions changed in that race. Absolutely wonderful performance, but he's called out the team there, and I believe Alex is with someone from the team down at the launch zone.
Chris, wow, Tom doing what he does best. Just how proud are you of him?
No, I'm super happy. We did an amazing job. Tom, as always, super fast. He is unbeatable, to be honest. So we are very happy. We did a good strategy. This is the best way to start the day, but the job is not done yet. The hard job is after this afternoon in the finals, but it's great to go straight, so we are very happy.
Do you change the strategy for the finals?
No, you just have to, with this new format, we have to adapt to what is happening in the moment. So it was a great job from Philip, the father of Tom, our radio man, and we are very happy.
Yeah, I was actually just going to go over and speak to Philip. Philip, Tom's father here, who's, I'm sure, extremely proud of him. Wow, what a race.
It's done. It's very nice. Very nice timing. I'm very happy, and it's a good job for my kids.
And you're a powerboat world champion many times. Do you give him lots of advice?
Yes, but it's another world, and it's completely different. It's Tom drive, it's not me, and he make a good job, and Chris also. I'm very proud to work with my driver and my team, for Rafa also, because it's incredible.
Philip, thank you so much. I'll let you go and congratulate your son.
Yeah, there'll be some celebrations. They'll be straight through into the final. Some great celebrations between the two co-pilots, Chris and Tom. We're over the Launchstone here at the E1 Jeddah GP, the opening round of this year's E1 World Championship presented by PIF. And look how close Anna Glennon and Tom Schaap got at the start. I reckon the race director will have just had a little look at that, won't he? Because that was a little bit close for comfort. Thankfully, everyone regained their lanes. But from that moment, Tom Schaap had a different race to perform.
They didn't touch, Gavin, and that's the rule. They actually kept their lines very nicely, but just drove a tight, vicious line between each other.
Emma Kymäläinen went wide, didn't she, around the first corner, and had to do her own race in that situation. Anna Glennon was out there at the front, but we knew all the time, didn't we, that Tom Schaap and Team Rafa were eating up the ground or eating up the water behind, and this is the moment where finally she had to relinquish the lead.
Yes, and it was quite a strong lead, in all fairness. We knew she was about 5 seconds down on that long lap and she wasn't going to make it, and he just cruised on by. Look how happy he is.
Straight through, a little jig from Tom Schaap inside the E1 race boat. Great performance, great recovery. Yesterday had that DQ in the qualifying race for taking the short lap when you didn't need to. So they finish at the back of the qualifying race, and it just shows how things can turn around. Chris Lasaraga puts in a great first group stage race. Tom Schaap puts an even better second group stage race in, and they are heading straight through into the finals, and they will have the inside lane for that final. So, confirmation of our results in the group stage 1B race, our third race of 8 today, and Team Rafa take the win with Tom Schaap in the cockpit. Anna Glennon was brilliant, you have to say, for Team Miami in second. Her and Team Brady and Emma Kymäläinen heading straight through into the race-off, and Team Brazil go straight into the place race. So a best of 6 on the cards at best for Team Brazil later on, and Timmy Hansen. It's our opening round of the E1 World Championship presented by PIF here in Jeddah. We've had some fabulous racing already, so much to get our teeth into. We can head now down to the Launchstone, where John Peters' co-pilot Sarah Mizir is down there with Alex.
Sarah, welcome to E1. You're new to Team Blue Rising. How are you finding it so far?
Oh, I'm in love with it. You know, it's been a great experience, and I'm just trying to learn as quickly as I go. And it's been a lot for one weekend. So looking forward to the next race coming up.
What's your relationship like with JP? Obviously, he's about to go out, and what's he told you?
Well, you know, we have our saying, we're in like lambs, out like tigers. So we're just trying to keep calm, learn as quickly as we can, be clean, and end the day on a good note.
How have you found it racing these? Does it compare to anything you've done before?
Nothing that I've done before. I've come from a GT4 background, so cars and water never mixed in the past. So it's been a great experience having to adapt to an ever-changing environment. So exciting, challenging.
What's your prediction? Can JP go and win this?
Oh, absolutely. You know, he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he's decades of boat racing behind him. So don't underestimate him.
Sarah, thank you so much. Great to have you here with us.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I'll echo Alex on that one. It's fantastic to have the First Lady of Jamaican Motorsports here inside the E1 GP setup this season. There's confirmation of what we saw before. Team Rafa straight through to the finals. Team Brazil through to the place race. Team Miami and Team Brady will be going off in that race-off. Now it's up to the likes of JP, John Peters and Blue Rising. They might be on the outside in this second group stage race, but as we've just seen, that doesn't mean that your weekend is over just yet.
It doesn't. I mean, obviously off the start, everyone wants to get into the lead and get the clean water. And as I said, strategy is easy when you're in the front. It's the ones behind that you've really got to think about. And mission control, it's all down to you.
So a quick wipe of the cockpit screen for Sarah Price in Will Smith's Westbrook Racing boat. Lucas Ordóñez before, of course, had his penalty. I want to avoid that as much as possible. That's mission control.
That's Steve Curtis, the performance coach for Westbrook Racing. He is a 7 times world champion in his own right, a legend in powerboat racing.
Not a bad person to have in your corner, isn't it? And when you say performance coaches, I mean, that can probably be a whole range of things, but advice for the pilots when they're out there, I'm sure his eyes are going to be all crucial when you're making strategic decisions like short and long laps and when to boost.
That is absolutely what the performance coach does, Gavin. He'll be talking to the pilot, he'll be watching the trim a lot. He'll be watching the trim of the engine, he'll be saying when to take the long, when to take the short, and just guiding her of how to handle the E1 race boat.
Yeah, and talking of handling a race boat, I wonder if we can find out from Team Brazil's Marit Stromoy just what the conditions are like out there and if they're picking up at all.
Marit, we know you're new to E1, but 35 years of experience of powerboat racing. Can you give us an insight into the conditions out there and what the course is like?
Yeah, it's surely very different from what I'm used to being on the foil as well, but the conditions today is quite good. We have some wind, but it doesn't affect that much the performance. The big difference for me is that there's so much turn buoys out there. You have short lap, long lap. Normally in Formula 1 we just have one circuit, and it's a lot of tactics also. So it's a super interesting, but it's difficult to keep it up on that foil.
Do you have to make decisions when you're out there depending on the water?
Yeah, for sure, and it's really a team decision as well. Going on short lap, long laps, trying to get free water, because the boats needs free water. If you can get free water, you are a lot faster than if you're in the dirty wash of someone else.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy the rest of your experience. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, Marit's just explained it all for us, hasn't she, there? From her vast experience, still so much to learn inside an E1 boat. But I think that what we're hearing, we get it back throughout the weekend, is how important the teams play. There may be one pilot inside the boat, but it is a huge team effort. Not only do you have a male and female pilot, but we've got the whole crew behind you, whether they're fixing the boat or whether they're giving you advice while you're out on the course.
Huge team effort, and mission control is so important. I mean, Marit explained that beautifully there. Thank goodness she was agreeing with me, saying that the rough water is the real, bad position to be out there. The long lap, the short lap, the marker buoys. I mean, we saw that yesterday. They took a short lap when they shouldn't have been. I think everyone had got confused. There's a lot to see out there, and when you're running at that speed, you need some help.
We can see from inside the cockpit here with Team Drogba's Yusuf Al Abdul Razak, Kuwaiti jet ski man, and the visibility isn't great. And we heard it from Lucas Ordonez, didn't we? When he was down, he said he was almost blindsided. He was blinded by the splash, by the water, and actually you lose sight of what's around you. It's not easy, is it?
Well, when the water comes over the windscreen like that, it's like being in a washing machine, Gavin.
Yeah, that's a really good description, actually. I don't fancy that either, I have to say. But these boats, I have to say, the E1 race boat looks like a lot of fun to be in as we are on board here with Team Drogba's race boat. There we get a good shot from inside the cockpit of what Yusuf will be seeing.
As you can see, it's a very limited vision. He's got, a short windscreen in front of him. He can look out the side, as we are here with Westbrook at the moment, but you can't really do that when you're racing. You're concentrating so much ahead. Mission control are your eyes to the side and behind.
Yeah, they have got cameras, haven't they? They don't have wing mirrors as such. They have little cameras, but when you've got the wash coming over you, how much do they help?
I have to be honest, most of the pilots have said to me the cameras are useless.
As in, you just can't see,
You can't see, and they also said they haven't got time to look at that screen. They've really got to listen to mission control. On board here with Team Alula there. Rusty Wyatt getting ready.
He was great yesterday, wasn't he? He had really good timing, qualifying time trials. In fact, their average time, should I say, he and Katie was the best of all. They qualified quickest for the qualifying races, were second in that. So you'd expect him to have a good shout at this one, but going from the middle lane, of course, we've got Aoki Racing and Steve Aoki down there here this weekend. It's his boat, and Danny Kloss on the inside. And what we learned from day one is that Danny Kloss is quick in an E1 race boat. He's a former Formula 1 driver, a test driver for many years as well. In that, he was here last year, but has made the switch to Aoki Racing, and he was second quickest in terms of individual lap time on Friday.
Yeah, I would hope he's going to do a good run right now. He was talking there on the radio. He's pulling out, as you can see, going to the muster area, and I bet he was talking to Mission Control about, you know, what do we think our strategy is going to be? What can we do?
You can have a plan, but what we've learned already in the first 3 races of the day is quite quickly might have to scrub that out and start all over again, because so much of it is about what happens at the start of this race. They are just leaving the launch zone now. We're on board with Team Drogba's Yusuf Al Abdul Razak. They're going to be in lane 2 for the start of this 6-lap group stage 2B. Remember, the winner goes straight through to the final. We're heading towards the milling area now. This is how they line up on the inside. Aoki Racing and Danny Kloss. Team Drogba alongside with Yusuf Al Abdul Razak after a great performance from Owen Duncan before. Then we've got Rusty Wyatt for Alula, Sarah Price for Westbrook, and on the outside, John Peters for Blue Rising. Team principal last year, still doing some of that job here this year for Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising. John Peters will be in the outside lane for the start of this 6-lap group stage 2B race. Can he recover from that outside line? Has shown good pace actually throughout the weekend. Alongside him in lane 4 will be Sarah Price in Will Smith's Westbrook Racing boat. Had a really good performance yesterday, Sarah, and her first run of the morning. She won her qualifying race that put her into that 4th place for this race. What can she do? Former motocross champion. In the middle will be Rusty Wyatt, new to E1 this year, and this team too. LeBron James's brand new squad. He is a powerboat racer, made a huge splash on the world stage last year in F1, and now so exciting to have him involved in the E1 race for this season. In lane 2, Team Drogba's Yusuf Al Abdul Razak, the jet skier himself, performed well on occasion yesterday, but they had a few technical gremlins. It looks like, fingers crossed, that could be behind them, and they'll hope so, in a really good lane for this second group stage race. And in pole on the inside after a superb performance from Michelle Alobaidani, her teammate Danny Kloss in individual lap times was second quickest on Friday. Can he perform when it counts now? Remember, whoever wins this race goes straight through into the final. He's in prime position on that inside lane in lane 1. And this, again, I'll remind you, is the course that they'll have to take on. For the start, it's all about the sprint down towards that turn 3 buoy. Get the launch, you've got to hit that line just as the clock ticks to 0. You go before, you will get a penalty. You'll be forced to go around the long lap loop. And now, when we go into this race, Shelley, let's remind everyone at home, you do have a long lap and a short lap to take.
Yeah, the blue lines are the standard lap, and then we have a short lap, long lap. Each team must take 1 short lap, 1 long lap. If you are a bad boy or a bad girl, you'll get a penalty and you'll get another long lap.
Strategy about when to take them during this 6-lap race. Not on lap 1 though. We've got 15 seconds to the start of this race. John Peters getting a good run here. Look at him at the back. I wonder, he'll be just powering up. When does he hit the boost? You've got to time it to perfection. 5 seconds to go as we count down to the start of the race. Rusty Wyatt very close to Sarah Price, and it's a really good start. There it is from Rusty Wyatt, but on the inside, look at Danny Kloss on the Aoki Racing boat. That is a brilliant start from him. Sarah Price has got away well. Oh, Rusty Wyatt, he got in some wake there in some turbulent water, and it really has upset his boat as they go down towards the first corner now, and it's going to be Danny Kloss in Aoki Racing's boat, and then who's going to come in behind? Team Drogba, it looks like, and Yusuf Al Abdul Razak. In 3rd place is Westbrook Racing, so they've moved up a position, and John Peters on the outside. Well, I wonder if Team Alula and Rusty Wyatt can recover here as we head down towards that marker at turn 5. It's Aoki Racing leading with Danny Kloss, but it's a bump fight for second now.
Absolutely. I don't know what happened to Team Alula there, but look at Westbrook Racing and Team Blue Rising here. That is a neck and neck fight. She's coming. Oh, Team Westbrook. Are they on the boost? No,
she was on the boost, and now she's off it. They are side by side. They're foil to foil. Whoa! We've got a tip, and we know. Wow, that was incredible, wasn't it, from Sarah Price? It looked like we were foil to foil there. It got oh so tight, but John Peters gave her a little bit of room. She has a little bit of a look on the outside here, Sarah Price, but John Peters has put in an absolutely stunning first lap here. It's going from the outside, and they are battling side by side for position down towards this kink. Sarah Price will have to give way because of where John Peters is on the course, and he takes second place. Aoki Racing take the short lap, but what action we've got on the first lap. Still got 5 to go.
Yes, and we've already got Team Blue Rising going off on the long lap, so that's good. He was in a right mess there, lots of boats, so he's gone to clear his space.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because with Aoki taking the short lap and Blue Rising having gone from 5th into 2nd, you wonder whether he might just have done the normal course. So, how it shakes out. Aoki Racing with the short lap done are still leading. It's now Drogba who've gone. They've taken the short lap, so they've promoted themselves into 2nd. Westbrook Racing and Sarah Price in 3rd, but they've neither done the short nor the long lap. Alula, neither have done the long or the short lap, and Blue Rising at the back, but they are the only ones to perform that long lap already.
Yeah, I would have gone on a long lap there because that was so close there. I mean, literally the racing. On board here with Danny. Let's see what he's doing. He's trimmed. He's trimmed in actually, so he's quite steady on the engine there. But he knows he's in the lead and he's in clean water. He's just got to be safe.
We saw a little bit of argy-bargy, didn't we, yesterday, as Steve Aoki watches on between Danny Kloss and Sam Coleman in their qualifying races. It got a little bit tight, didn't he? But what Danny showed was a really good starter, and he just judged it to perfection. Got the boost at the right moment, didn't he? Down towards the first corner and took charge of this race from that inside line.
Yeah, quickly on board there with Danny. How cool does he look?
Absolutely not. At all, no problems for him as Westbrook Racing reclaims 2nd place. So that's the short lap taken by Sarah Price. She's back up into 2nd for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. Then Didier Drogba's squad are in 3rd with Yusuf Al Abdul Razak. Alula still have not taken a short or a long lap for Rusty Wyatt, so let's just bear that in mind as well. And at the back, having done the long lap, John Peters is not that far behind. When we see him cross the line, well, going to be interesting to see with a long and a short lap, a short lap still to take. Shelley, Aoki at the front, Westbrook 2nd, Drogba 3rd, Alula 4th and Blue Rising in 5th.
I'm glad you said all that because I'm lost already. It's all over the place, this race. Wow, I love the fact that we can just mix everything up and it's changing by the second.
Now we see John Peters in the Team Blue Rising boat across the line. What's the gap to him and the leader? 33 seconds at the moment, but I will remind you that he has a short lap to take and the others have a long lap to take, so that's going to give him an extra, shall we say, 22 seconds at the very least. So standard laps for all of the top 3, Aoki, Westbrook and Drogba.
And Lula is doing their long lap at last. I was getting worried about that because we're only 4 of 6 laps to go, so they're going to have to do a long lap and a short lap straight away.
Who is our leader on the boost? Danny Kloss is judging this one really well. 2 laps remaining in the race. Will almost certainly leave it to the last lap to build up as much of a lead as possible. There is John Peters at the back of the picture in the Team Blue Rising boat. He's promoted himself now ahead of Team Alula. And I'll remind you, those 2 boats still have a short lap to take, so they will move themselves further up the order. On board we go with Rusty Wyatt. Just off the start, it looked like with the wake, because he was just behind, with the wake that was being kicked off the boats in front, that it just upset him on the foils.
The wake actually just got his foil and it just unsteadied him. It was a shame because it literally unsteadied him. I think that's something to learn with these boats. It's not just the bow in front of you. You've got to bear with your wings out the front, out the sides, apologies, to get in that dirty water. It's tricky, really tricky.
Just about to come up to the last lap of this race. Team Aoki are leading. Westbrook in 2nd. Blue Rising now in 3rd as Drogba and Yusuf Al Abdul Razak have done their long lap. Still John Peters has his short lap to take, so he's much closer than it looks here, because 18 seconds the gap. I wonder, that's to Westbrook. And a reminder that Westbrook and Aoki both have to do their long laps yet.
Yeah, which is a shame, because I would have hoped that Westbrook would have done it already by now, and then we could have had a race to the line between Aoki and Westbrook, but they're going to both go on it together. It must be about now.
Yeah, so we can now see Danny Kloss in Team Aoki's bike heading out to the long lap loop. Same for Sarah Price in the Westbrook Racing boat. It will bring John Peters back in, because I'll remind you, in the Blue Rising, he has a short lap to take, so the merge will be interesting here now, Shelley.
Between Westbrook and Blue Rising, this could be great.
Absolutely. So Aoki now coming back towards the merge area, well ahead of Blue Rising. Westbrook are rounding the far end, but Blue Rising and John Peters on the boost at the moment. He's going to cover it off here. I think this is going to be superb for John Peters. Yes, he's promoted himself up into second. I mean, he was right up to second, took the long lap early, and it's paid off. But no doubt about our winner in this one now. Aoki Racing and Danny Kloss has been superb, hasn't he, in this race? Took the charge from the front, and he's going to take victory. Whoa! Gets a little bit out of shape in the final corner. I would call it showboating, but I'm not sure that was exactly what he wanted. But he comes across the line to take the victory in the second of our group races and put Aoki Racing with Steve Aoki on site straight into the final. It's race off for Team Blue Rising. It's race off for Westbrook Racing too. And Team Drogba will also be going to the race-off. And Rusty Wyatt and Team Alula just quite there, have not quite got the strategy right on that occasion. It went wrong a little bit at the start, and even though they were fastest in the time trials, they'll be going through to the place race now with no chance of making the final.
Very disappointing for those teams, and yes, Aoki had a real washing machine moment at the end there.
Michel Alobaidan did the job to put Danny Kloss on the inside lane, and he has taken full advantage of that one. Superb performance from the Spaniard, and he has taken victory in the group stages. Will go with Aoki Racing straight through into the final, and it just shows how important it is for both pilots to be performing.
It also proves as well how important on this particular course in Jeddah is that pole position. As you said, they've both got to perform, they've both got to stay on pole position, because in every single race we have seen the leader take the lead and hold on to it.
John Peters from the outside was started fifth, and he's brought it into second. It was all the start, and he had a long run down towards the first corner, didn't he? He had an absolutely superb run down there, and then made his way up into second. Right, I think we might be able to get down there to speak to Danny Kloss. Inside the Aoki Racing boat is Danny, was superb on Friday. Your teammate Danny did a brilliant job to put you in pole for that one, and you backed it up straight through to the final. You go. How pleased are you?
Okay, this is amazing. We did it. Good job from Michel in the first race. We could complete the race also in P1. I'm just amazed. So happy for Aoki Racing team. They deserve it. We deserve it. And this is just starting. So now let's look to the finals. And yeah, this is going to be exciting. Let's go.
Brilliant stuff, Danny. The boss is happy too. We've just seen him heading back now towards the launch zone to be down there with Danny when he makes his way into the launch zone to get out of the boat, just milling his way back. Brilliant performance from him. Brilliant from Michel Alobaidan as well. And they'll be heading out. Both pilots will be going in the finals. So a reminder, there's 2 races to come. It's the second race that counts, but Michelle will have to do that job again. Let's hear what she has to say. She's talking to Alex down there.
Michelle, congratulations, straight to the final. How happy are you?
I'm excited, I'm happy. It's all about teamwork, you know, we have heroes behind us, you know, giving us great strategy. I mean, look at that, we're so happy. What do you think, Steve?
Right, we can bring the big boss in. Steve, what do you think? Danny Kloss out there.
Danny, I can't believe, I'm so confident with Danny as well. He held it down once again. Michel and Danny together is a superpower team that I couldn't have hoped for. Like, this is incredible.
It's clearly your influence. You're going to have to come to every race weekend now.
I think I have to. I think I have to now. I'm just like so supercharged right now. Look at this guy. Look at this legend right now. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And you've got a gig in Dubai later, right? So that's proper commitment from you.
I almost don't want to go.
Stay with us. Stay with us, Steve.
Great scenes down there. Look how happy Steve is. Yeah, they'll be spinning some tunes later on. And been spinning laps, both Danny and Michelle earlier today, spinning themselves straight into the final for later in the day. This is how the results finished in that second and final group stage race. We have our first two finalists, Aoki Racing joining Team Rafa in the finals later on. Blue Rising, Westbrook and Drogba head through into the race-off. And Team Alula, it's into the place race. Not to be this weekend for Katie Munnings and Rusty Wyatt. New to the championship this year though. Lots and lots to learn. Just wasn't to be for Rusty. This was the start. Rusty got a great launch, didn't he, across the line. As we see now the other boats pick up the pace. Just have a look perhaps at our Alula. Just gets unsettled a little bit there.
Yeah, what you saw was we call it twitching. The boat was actually twitching, so he was probably too high on the foils, too trimmed out, and that's what happened. And here, oh, look at the camera angle there.
Well, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what happened. That was in the merge, wasn't it, between John Peters and Sarah Price?
So what would have happened there is the bow, the front of the boat would have gone really high up as it hit the other boat, and the camera angle, we saw sky. What did I say yesterday? If you see the sky, trim in. If you see the fish, trim out.
She was seeing the sky and seeing stars, I expect, after that little collision. On board with Danny Kloss, though. This was a little bit of nerves right at the end there for him, but finally he brings it home to take victory for Aoki Racing. Quite comfortable in the end, the margin over John Peters, who was brilliant for Virat Kohli's Blue Rising as they head into the race-off. So I think we can hear from Alex down there with the team in second place, Blue Rising.
Yes, Sarah, JP, to the race-off. How did you find it out there?
You know, it was nice and rough, and we...
Nice and rough?
Yeah, clearly we do better in the rough than we do in the smooth, so we're okay when that nice yacht and the sailing boats can go up the back straight, and yeah, so we were okay there.
Can you explain that to me? Why do you prefer it rough?
Well, honestly, we don't do too hot in the smooth, so we got to pick something, so it'll be rough. We practiced all week long for the race. We didn't practice for qualifying. It did affect us in qualifying, but what it did is we were focused on the final couple races of each day. The wind picks up here in Jeddah, and so we knew it was going to be a rougher race day.
Does strategy, mindset change, Sarah, going into the race-off?
I think that we're just going to keep our head up and take it one race at a time and just keep our focus. And I definitely think my history with racecraft and being from GT4 has definitely helped us. And of course, JP's decades in boat racing has been nothing but a help. So we've really been able to lean on each other and keep each other motivated. It's been amazing.
You're going out next. JP, what's your message to her?
Lock it up, eyes up, and in like a lamb, out like a tiger.
I love it. That's your motto, isn't it? And you're enjoying it, right? That's the main thing, your first experience.
Yes, it has been amazing, and yesterday I definitely got all the nerves out, and I had everyone coming to me, oh, happy first quali day, and it did not help me. So today's been great. I was just taking it one race at a time, as I said, so looking forward to the next one.
Okay, so I won't say to you happy race-off day or anything like that.
No, please no.
Too late.
Good luck, all the best.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Both great characters, aren't they, to have in this E1 World Championship. And the opening round here in Jeddah, this is where we are then. This is how the rest of our race day looks. We'll have the race off coming up next with Miami and Blue Rising in there. Having been the slowest in the time trials, they were looking towards the races always. Team Brady, Westbrook and Team Drogba are in those race-offs. Place race we know for Alula and Brazil. And who are going to be the boats that join Aoki Racing and Team Rafa? 3 more spots up for grabs in that final later on this afternoon, and that'll be coming up in our race-off, which will be the next race in the day. Remember, there'll be an alternate pilot switch for all of those teams, so anyone who's just been out now, the other pilot will be out next in their next race. That's what we've got coming up from here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia as we get ready for our race-off later on in the day.